Welcome to another session from LearnReason.com. My name is Matt. This video is sponsored by hdrefills.com. Hear and feel the difference. Go check them out. You'll be glad you did. In this session, we're going to go over the Scales and Chords device, the new player that comes in Reason 9. And right off the bat, you have to understand that it is a player. And what this means is you have to have an instrument for it to play. If you drag it into the rack without there being an instrument for it to play, it does nothing. It's like you opening up the rack and not having an instrument, and you press your keyboard controller, nothing's going to happen. So you have to have an instrument for the player. And that goes for any of the three players that they have that come in Reason 9. So let's take the scales and chords and let's drag it in. And you'll see as I drag it in, it's going to go on the top of the instrument. It won't go underneath. It goes on the top. And if we tab around, you can't plug into it. You can't do anything to it. It's there. And this is all you have to work with, is what you see right on the front face here. Now, if you want to have effects, any effects, you can drag an effect, and it will be, it goes in like normal. So basically, the way to look at this is, to wrap this around your head here is that this player is an extension of you. That's what it is. And it's going to help you do things that you never thought were possible. So let's get into this because it's super cool. Like I'm telling you, this thing is going to be a writer's block cure. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this thing right in half, right from here. You have the blue and the green. Cut it in half right here. And let's just concentrate on this part right here. What you can do here with the scales is you can select your key, which is your root, and you can select the scales. So if we just select the scale, this is in the scale of C. If we change it, it changes around. See how it changes? This would be the scale if the root note was A. If the root note is F, this is the way it's going to be. And the way it is right now is, now, I want you to watch this right here. When I press the key on my keyboard controller, what happens? Now I can go up. Now, I'm going to hit the D. Now, if you see what the note it's playing is not the D, because what Scales and Chords is doing is it's saying, okay, this specific scale in the key of F, you can only hit those notes for it to be in that scale using F as the root note. So you can see it lights up orange. I'm doing well. Now watch. I go down one. But the note it's playing is the note next to it in the scale. See how you can see what it's doing. And what this does is it helps you learn new scales. And that's awesome. There you go. Writer's block cure. Because what we do is we get stuck in our way of playing and the scales that we play in. So this can help us break out of that. Now, what can happen here is, now if let's just stay in the scale. If we put filter notes, what this means now is it won't correct it to the nearest correct note in the scale. What it will do is you'll get silence. And what this really does right here is it's a great practice tool to help you learn specific scales. Oh, and you'll see a big hand come up that says no. You can see I'm pressing, it's not in there. That's not in the scale. This is not in the scale, but this is. So what you can do is try to do different things within that scale, and you can learn it, and scales and chords helps you learn it. And this, when you have the filter notes on, you're going to get silence if you hit the wrong note when you're in a specific scale. You turn filter notes off, and what it's going to do is play the next note that would be closest to the correct note in the scale. I keep filter notes on. This way it helps me learn to the scale. It helps you learn. But that's a preference. So that's basically all there is to the scales, the key and the scale. And of course you can have a custom scale. You can have in a scale of F, and you can whatever this is, and you can change it out and put this one in and put that one in. So now you've created this would be called your scale in the key of F. And talk about writer's block help. You can just and originality. Okay, so now let's move on to the chords section. And we'll just keep this at C. C major, what the heck. So now remember I said scales and chords is all about allowing you to press one key on the keyboard and create chords just by playing one note. So if I turn on the chords right there and I press the one note, it's only going to play one note. It's telling me the note I'm playing. But now you'll see notes here. If I want it to play two notes within the C major scale, when I press one note, this is what will happen. And you can see what note I'm pressing right here in the scale window. This is the note I'm pressing. Now, if I want, I can add in three notes. So now it's gonna have a chord of three notes by me pressing one key. And then, of course, I can go to 4. So let's go back to 3 chords, or a 3-note chord, and let's invert it 2. You see what happened? I'm still pressing just one note. Do you see how just moving this dial around, I could just sit here and press the C. I'll add one more note to this scale, this C major scale, so now it's going to be 4 notes based on the key I'm pressing. with an inversion of 1. Now if we change the scale, Spanish scale, you see how the inversions happen? Now, but if you get different inversions with a lower note count, you have 2 there. I would never think of playing those notes. This is some of the stuff that's going to help you, get out of writer's block or give you ideas. So the inversion is just going to move it up 1 or down 1. Wrong notes. So that's basically all they do. You have notes, and how many notes? 5, and you can have an inversion of up to 4. It's that simple, and basically you just have to test it out. Now, if you have open chords, let's make this smaller, just 2 note. So in no open chords, what it's doing is, when it means open, it's gonna, that's what it's doing. It's making it higher. And now if we have 3 notes, now with an inversion of 1, so I'm just pressing one. You see what I'm pressing right here? That's it. And it's a Spanish. It's the scale of Spanish in C. Okay, I'm just going over this all, and once I go through all these, all the functions of it, then we'll try and write something in it, and I'll show you how cool it is. So basically, we'll go back to C, something simple, and we can go with the way that is. That's 3 notes, open chords, and go 1 octave up, 1 octave down. I'm still just pressing 1 note. And then what you can do is add some color, which is, it's going to be a specific note within the scale that gives it color. Still pressing 1 note. Some stuff works, some stuff doesn't. And that's what this is all about. You're going to have to test stuff. But I'm just showing you how it all works. And what happens here is, when I'm pressing this, still pressing 1 note and just pressing the alter. It alters it within the scale, and it's pretty cool. And all of this is automatable. Next, we have the direct record and the send to track. So let's now if we record this, I'm just going to press the C again, just pressing the C. Okay, so now when it plays back, it's going to play those single notes. Just like me, it's just like me pressing the notes on the keyboard. But what I can do is this. I can turn on direct record. And so what's going to happen is when I press the single note on the keyboard controller, it's actually going to record what the scales and chords device interprets that one keyboard press as. And why this is cool is because you may write this music in scales and chords using, an ID8, for example. But now you can take this MIDI and copy and paste it to other devices. Now, say you have direct chord off and you're recording the perfect take, and we'll record. So you record that and you're like, oh man, I'd really like to have what the scales and chords, I would like to have that, what the scales and chords would interpret that as, the MIDI data. I'd like to have that right here so I can edit it. So then you have both the notes that you played and then how the scales and chords interprets it. What you can do is just send a track. And what it's going to do is plant it right down here. So now you have what you did and how it interpreted it, and you have both the MIDI data right there. And now you can take this MIDI data and use it on all the different instruments in Reason. And it was all written right here in scales and chords, and all you were doing was manipulating the scales and the keys, the amount of notes in a chord, the inversions that you wanted in the chord, whether you wanted the chords to be open or not, whether you wanted an octave up, an octave down, or add some color. You did it all right here, and now you have this, and now suddenly you've created this whole new song that you never even knew you could do because you had no clue of what a Dorian scale was. There you go. It's that cool. This device is amazing. And what makes it amazing is it will help you learn scales that you never even knew existed. It will teach you stuff, teach you scales, and scales in different keys, but it will also help your writer's block. It will cure it. If you want to write something, I'm stuck just playing my C major. I need something. Come in here, grab a scale, and say, you know what? I'm going to learn this major pentatonic. I'm gonna go for it and learn it, and I'm gonna try and write something just pressing one key. So it's pretty cool. Okay, what I'm gonna do is let's use this in a show you how to use this in a real world situation. You're sitting here and you want to write something, but you have writer's block, and you want to try something new. You go to this and say maybe an F. You've never ever in your life played in this scale ever, but you're just looking for something to do. So you have the scale, and And I'm just on one note, playing exactly what it is. So you come up with the chord progression or something like. Okay, so say you like that. Okay, let's just record this real quick. I'm going to turn on quantize and it's set at eighths. That should be fine. Okay, so I can double click on this and I think we can get rid of that one. And we'll bring it down to here. And that should be our little riff. Little 4-bar riff. And this is what we have so far. Okay, so what I'm going to do is play that. I'm going to loop that. Turn off that. So basically what I'm doing is just looping this around and I'm just trying different chord settings to find out what I want. And as I'm doing this, maybe I'm going to like 1 or 2 settings or 3 settings that I could use while I'm writing my song. Maybe I like this setting during the verse. And then as the chorus starts, I bump it up. And you know, and then later on I can maybe add a little color. If it works. Some of the stuff will not work in some of the scales, but you gotta try. That's part of it. And of course, as you're doing it, you can just press the alter button. That didn't work. But that's the beauty of it. You never know. You could press this and be like, oh my goodness, that's one of the most greatest chords I've ever heard in my life. That's the beauty of this device. It's a writer's block cure. It's a dream come true to writer's block. And I mean, that's all it is. That's basically all this thing is. It can help you learn new scales. It can help you create new scales. It can help you practice scales when you have the notes on, because you won't hear anything. Nothing. Bad. That's bad. Bad note. And you know, you have open chords. You know, make the chords open. I mean, it's really, really cool. It's very simple to use. And so I really hope this helps you guys out. And just remember, everything I do here at LearnReason is free. And the way you can help out is to like, subscribe, follow, and share. So I look forward to seeing you guys in the next session. You guys take care.